Hello, hello, and welcome to the poorly time-shifted announced broadcast of the RSL Group D. This is the round of 16. My name is Hawkeye, and I would like to personally introduce you to this group myself. We've already had some pretty exciting games with Group A, Group B, and Group C. If you want a recap of them, we have VODs available finally on our YouTube channel. Otherwise, you can always keep up with the RSL on Twitter, Twitch, hit the follow button, etc., etc. So we're going to have some more exciting games coming up, and I would just like to take one moment to give a shout out to our sponsors. We haven't updated the slide deck, but one of our sponsors that's contributed a large amount of the prize pool this evening is BrwL. BrwL Esports is an organization, a StarCraft 2 team, and then other esports game ventures as well, that has kindly donated lots of esports dollars to contribute to the prize pool, of course. And then we have Clink. Clink is my own startup that's starting here in Fargo, North Dakota. We're gladly putting in some money ourselves. If you want to check us out, it's letsclink.co, and Clink is spelled exactly how you see on the screen. And then there's been some other contributors to the RSL as well, to the prize pool, including Izimba and a couple other personal individuals as well. So without further ado, I'm going to introduce our next two casters. Dragonite's been one that's been with us already. He's already casted a night or two of the RSL. And then coming back from last season, we have Pure, who will be able to join Dragonite casting this evening. Take it away, boys.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Do we have some fantastic games for you today? We're going to see a lot of the TASC boys coming out to show in force today. It's a little bit unfortunate that we do have three of them participating in this bracket, so they will be taking out each other. In addition to that, I do believe we have War Battle joining them as their fourth opponent. But it's going to be looking to be really good. We've got people like Bioice, who, if you guys have been watching the scene, he plays it a little bit quiet, he goes under the radar a little bit, but he's definitely one to watch because he is fantastic. His play is phenomenal. We have seen Soloist in the past. I believe his games was casted in the
Soloist has played a few games actually in the qualifiers. I don't know that he had any casted games, but yeah, he did play on Vani, Koda, Echo. Yeah, actually, KiToO is our fourth player. I don't know what you mean exactly by War Battle though, but yeah. So we have a good amount of Team Ascension players. Unfortunately, there's just going to be some team kills. That's just how the groups are going to end up shaking out. I feel like...
Well, I'm back.
Yeah, I was going to say, I feel like I just lost my co-caster.
I did for a little bit. How much of that rant did you catch?
Enough. It's actually KiToO, though, not War Battle, you silly...
Man. Oh, cool. So we got a KiToO. Well, at least we got up to there. I mean, so at least they introduced our players before I lagged out, which is pretty nice. I'm going to get re-invited to that channel. Anyway, did we catch what each player's style is or not?
Each player's what?
Style.
Oh, really didn't get a lot of that yet. Nope.
That's cool.
But if you're familiar with
just go over that one again.
Go. I mean, I know Soloist is a really aggressive Terran
Am I
player.
familiar? I love these guys. I'm not even kidding now. In this particular matchup, I'm mad TASC favored because these guys are fantastic. Bioice needs no introduction. If you guys have seen him participate in some of the other tournaments, because he does get around, though he does seem to fly under the radar a little bit. I know Base Trade TV has casted him quite a fair bit. His play is usually pretty standard, but he can go cheese, and he just plays it out perfectly. That's kind of his strong point. In this matchup, it looks like we're going to have Creature, who is an incredibly standard Protoss. He's really, all his players are really good, mind you. So I'm going to keep saying that over and over again. But Creature, he just plays it really safe, really cautious, and then just does that build perfectly. Soloist, on the other hand, tends to be a little bit more aggressive with a lot of drop plays, or at least that's how he plays against me. I'm not sure if that's just because he doesn't want to get to that big game or not.
It's definitely, I mean, he can play like solidly, but I'm pretty sure everything that I've ever seen him do has been mostly starting off of one base plays in every matchup.
Yeah.
So we'll definitely see what he does to change, or if he just continues playing his favorite style.
Creature's like, can I play Caboose instead? Yeah. I can do that one. So Creature asking for the player
definitely a
change.
very solid player here.
Hmm.
Um,
No, it's going to be really good to see them come into this fight. I must admit, I'm so excited for these games, guys. So, yeah, it's going to look to be really, really good.
yeah, for sure. Who would you guess would be?
Oh, don't make me do this, man.
Yeah.
Don't make me do this. Oh, it's going to pull on my heartstrings if I choose one of them. It's your two favorite people. Come on. If I had to choose one, I don't know. Creature style is it's very rigid in the fact that he plays it quite defensive to begin with. Like, obviously you have the early aggression that comes out in GM, but he's not really a cheese style of player. So if Soloist can get in and do damage with his first initial aggression, I think he could maybe take it from Creature. So it really comes just down to that first defense. If Creature can defend it, or if he falls or stumbles to that early aggression. I think that's what's going to come down to. Yeah.
Right. Or even
Oh no! We didn't check statistics. Oh well, doesn't matter.
even it's more than just that initial aggression though, because when I had some games against Soloist, it was that initial aggression, and then I said, okay, he's got to be expanding now, and then he comes in with more. Like he just stayed one base. It was such a surprise to me. But, yeah, it was good. It was just very confusing.
He commits to it. Because Soloist is a Korean, I believe. Yeah,
Yeah, I
I'm pretty
believe
sure
that is
Soloist is Korean.
I believe that is correct.
So we're going to see that Korean style flowing through him.
So
You know
we're
what I
going
mean?
to the game here any minute now. We have Soloist against Creature for our first matchup of the day. Whoa, this pink. Wow, alright. Well, in the bottom of the map here, we have for Team Ascension Pro, Creature, with an extremely bright pink color of Protoss.
And in the top side, we have Soloist playing as Terran. Nice, decent raid. He's not going to be blinding us anytime soon. That is a really fluid pink, but I must admit, it looks pretty sexy to me, because real men wear pink.
Oh, do they?
Yeah. Oh, they do, man. I choose it every time, and I know I'm a real man, so yeah, I checked. Checked this morning. So, yeah, anyway, we do have the Subwadi, but coming down the front, which naturally is just going to get that wall off of there, and we do have the pylon in base. Everything go up as you would expect. A lot of Protoss players will actually proxy that first gate and then see if they can progress out a Zealot. I've been playing around with that one lately. I know Kamka has had a lot of difficulty with proxy gates. Well, actually, he says he's getting them a lot, and then he crushes them. That's what he keeps telling me anyway. So, but yeah, so a lot of Protoss players do like to proxy gate that first gate, but it doesn't look like it's going to be happening this game. Anyway, Refinery going down, so it's going to be factory first.
On this map, I don't think I would want to do that.
Yeah, no, I don't usually like it this map. I usually go for the bases that expand outwards, but some players do. I've seen it before. Okay, well, let's talk about this game. Something important has happened.
It's going gas
Yeah.
first. Of course.
Gas first means he's going to factory. Now the question is he going to proxy the factory or not?
Yes.
Because this isn't a bad map to proxy the factory and then you flood it into the expansion.
Yes, he's definitely going to proxy. There's definitely going to be a proxy factory. In fact, I think that's the SCV.
Well, yeah, that's the SV. Yep.
Ooh, you know, we're
Anyway.
seeing Creature placed out at this pylon over here, where a factory would fly in. So I wonder if that's just something he would have done every game, or if he knows his teammates. That's kind of the interesting thing about the games where you have team kills, is you get to see the games and you're like, okay, is this 100% normal, or do you actually just know your teammates?
Yeah, well, I usually scout Soloist, and you'll be able to tell from the scout. However, yeah, it's an interesting position because he is going straight to that pylon position. The other position you want to proxy is the one where it's down here, and then you float up into that location just there. But it looks like he's actually going to get the factory right there. So it's kind of an unfortunate decision from Soloist. However, if he floats up and does get the land, he'll still be able to pump out a mine or two, and that can still do their own damage because we're still looking for any sort of detection from Creature. He's getting ready for... Oh! He's sending the Zealot out! The Zealot's gonna see it!
The Zealot's not only going to see it, but you might even get...
Oh, I don't know. It can be tied against
really
the gas.
Close. You know what? He's not going to get the SCV. He is going to finish this.
Yeah, he's attacking the factory now. So...
And then it's going to
there's
fly
that lift
out.
straight away.
Is there anything over
He's
here?
trying to put it on the pylon! Oh, he has to move now. And is the probe going to get there in time to do the block?
The pro block.
Yes, it is! Fantastic play from Creature. This is what we were talking about. Shutting down that early aggression. This is a pretty good way to shut it down. Though we do have the starport on the way, so he's going to be able to make out some dropships pretty soon.
So
Mothership Core is coming to scout out as well.
So far, this looks exactly like one of my games against Soloist, where yeah, he ended up deciding he couldn't land it and just flew it back out here and started making Widow Mines.
Well, if they do get the Burrow, they'll still one-shot the Stalker, Zealots, and then two-shot the Mothership Core. So if Creature isn't paying attention, two of Mines can do an incredible amount of damage, as I'm sure every Protoss player is willing to cry about.
Yeah, he could definitely lose some units for sure. Widow Mines are...
Creature's he's defending a little bit on his... he's actually got a non-mining probe in that mineral line. That's a little bit unfortunate. But the Robo Bay has now finished, done a little bit of damage on that Widow Mine before it burrows, and he's going to be chrono boosting out that first observer. Looks like he's going to be fine. Yeah, it's massive. But the command center is now coming up too.
They're so underrated, but you have two Zealots, and Widow Mine just is not going to be able to burrow. So that Widow Mine, I just don't think gets anything done, because there's a Stalker, a Zealot, and a Mothership Core out here. Plus,
and the Observer.
Yeah, so so Soloist is going to have to come in here with this medevac and actually get something done, whether pulling it over to the natural, just do that thing where you have to pull Protoss back and forth, and that's really how he's going to play this game. He has expanded, so he is going to get some macro going on here, or at least start another force of units. Here comes the drop in the natural.
But that Widow Mine has now been taken out now as well, so it's just going to be these...
Oh, there's a Widow Mine in there.
Actually, there's a Widow Mine in the drop as well, so he's got the 3 Marines and that Widow Mine. However, we do still have the Photon Overcharge, and it's going to be triggered straight away. Does he focus fire? Yes, he does. He should be able to kill Elf before he gets the shot, but he chose not to focus fire with the Stalker. It's a little bit of an odd choice there, but it only gets 3 actually working kills in total, including that of the Marine drop.
Right. Oh, these poor Marines.
Yeah, so far I would say this hasn't been worth it for Soloist, which has been a little bit unfortunate for him. That was very well countered by Creature.
Yeah, Creature is he just knows what's going on and he's completely prepared, I think.
Continuing to make more observers. We've got Widow Mines just rallied straight to the main of Creature, but that Photon Overcharge is still up. Oh, that was perfect timing from Soloist, actually. Going up the ramp as soon as that Photon Overcharge finishes, so he knows his timing's down to a T. And a Widow Mine has been burrowed into the natural. Oh, that's actually cool. If a Widow Mine is burrowing, you can still pick it up with a medevac. Well, it's mid-burrow.
Really? What?
Oh, but that's what he just did. I didn't even know that was possible. He's actually going to burrow the Widow Mine now, but he's not going to be able to get a shot off. A little bit unfortunate again. Soloist doing well to try and stop any mining from Creature.
I mean, he hasn't done damage, but he's had like mining time. Tons of mining time has been lost from this.
That is very, very true. So he's still doing his own version of damage. And he does have his own command center finished with the orbital, so he's going to be getting a fair bit of minerals himself now. Moving up to a 3rd command center. If this gets allowed to finish, maybe it'll actually have paid for itself because of the non-aggression by Creature.
I mean, Creature isn't going to be aggressive anyway. He's playing that really defensive style of Protoss, especially this game where he's just deflecting everything that he can from Soloist. And he hasn't really lost anything. Oh, we might see... There we go. He hasn't really lost anything yet. Just mining time, but if you go to the workers, we can see that the Creature's only up by 1 worker on Soloist, which is extremely unusual, given...
He's not up by the worker anymore.
Yeah, I mean, they're even. They're completely even, which is, I mean, considering that Soloist did not make an expansion, he went for a gas first build, usually their Terran player is behind unless they get damage done. Which he hasn't killed a lot, he's only killed 6 workers, but the lost mining time and just constantly having to run your stuff around for the Protoss player is definitely worth it. I mean, I think Mara's been showing that in the pro scene as well, that you just send in Widow Mines and make the Protoss player have to constantly run their stuff around, and it's the lost mining time that's more of an issue than actually losing units.
That's a very good point. Creature's now opting to throw down 1 cannon in either mineral line. He has thrown down his Twilight Council as well. He'll be looking to get some more tech, and he's going up to Colossus. The first one just about to pop now as well. The factory is still there though, making some more mineral line. Widow Mines as well.
So
and
how do you feel
might be
just now finishing the scans, going down here, checking out the ramp and the 3rd?
Doesn't see it. That's actually very nice to be able to see the ramp as well, because usually you'll be able to check the Protoss composition. Unfortunately, that didn't happen. Creature instead choosing to stay mid base. Oh, this was good pull if there was anything in that second medvac, but there's not. Whoops. I thought he was going to be able to pull him out with one of his
Now we have the army
medivacs
walking up
and then
into the
dropping
main
the other
base.
one. We still have the photon overcharge. I believe. Where is that militia? Oh, it's back at the back there.
It's hiding.
Still has one to go.
It's
Yeah,
scary.
it's a nice place because you don't exactly want to lose that at this stage in the game. That can be quite dangerous. Once we start getting the Colossus count, start getting up, we don't have any Vikings out in the field. We only have these small amounts of Marines and Marauders and a few medivacs, so they're going to be able to prevent any sort of aggression walking up that ramp.
For now, I mean, we do have double starport in production currently.
Yeah.
So it won't.
That's why it's good
before
now.
we just start seeing some mass production of Vikings, and something to note about that is kind of how far Creature's tech is behind. I think he's actually behind. I mean, he's only just.
Well, look
now.
at the if we look at the units, we're at 62 SCVs to 48 probes, and that's a position you don't really want to be in. We haven't even seen a third getting started for Creature. So as well as he did defend that early game, it looks like this has actually swung quite in favor of Soloist at this point. As soon as, well, Creature's still just holding. He's still just sitting in his base, getting the army, getting the composition he wants, getting the upgrades he wants. But that's just letting Soloist take the map. And that was quite a greedy third at the same time when he threw that down. So, and his infrastructure's kicking in now. We've got the double starports we were talking about. We're sitting on 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 racks, I believe. So that's a lot of building. Cute. The factory is go checking out the natural there as well.
Is when, as the Protoss player, do you say, okay, the aggression is kind of feigned aggression, or is it actually expanding, which is what he did behind it. He really only committed 6 Widow Mines, maybe not even that many, and just built double command center. He's like, it's fine. He's going to snipe the Nexus. Does he kill it? Nope, cancels. Good.
Cancel.
Blink isn't quite ready yet, so we can't really pick off a few of those medevacs that are hanging back at the end. This is really irritating.
Yeah.
Constantly
But it does feel like as soon as these upgrades hit, maybe Creature should start to move out, try and do some damage of his own.
I don't think he can. I just don't.
He's got +1/+1 on Soloist for the while. I'm trying for Soloist upgrades.
But he's only finished Blink. He has a couple of, like, 3 Colossi, and it just, by the time he gets across the map, there's so many Vikings. There's so many Vikings out on the field. There's just nothing that he can really do to fight
That's
him.
true.
He doesn't have Charge. He doesn't have Storm. There's no way. If he walks across the map, he loses 100%. He's going to somehow need to pull off a miracle defense in order to
Well,
not
he's going for the Dark Shroud now, so maybe he'll be able to do some damage with that. We don't see the missile turret in that third base. At the front. Actually, we don't see missile turrets anywhere on the map. So maybe if he slips them in, he can actually do some damage, but it's going to come down to...
If he survives this push right here from Soloist, because that's a ton of Vikings. All he really has splashed are 4 Colossi. The Nexus is not quite done yet, so yeah, it'll probably be done by the time the push comes in. So he's going to push out here his Stalkers. And
that's a risky decision. If they get stemmed down, the...
Viking 4
there's the blink.
Charge isn't even ready.
Not bad.
We don't have a huge cell account. Alright, so you see the Vikings just starting to focus to fire down the Colossi. 2 Colossi down. 3rd Colossus is about to die. Yep, now the Mothership Core, and everything melts. Poor Protoss player. I don't think a couple of Dark Templar Warpins can save him right here.
Well, yeah, he doesn't really have the gas. He's got the gas for 2, and that's all. Oh no, we're seeing 2 Zealots. It's a GG. That's unfortunate, because it felt like he defended it so well. He did get the perfect read on it, the perfect scout, pylon placement.
Yeah.
But, yeah, again, it was just the lost mining time. That's all it was, and that's what Koreans are really good at, is just pulling you apart like that. So, well done. Really well played from both players. It's just unfortunate that Creature wasn't able to take it, because he did get that perfect scout. But, yeah, Soloist played really well off the bat of that as well, just doing that constant aggression with those drops and placing his Widow Mines quite well. They didn't get too many kills. They got like 1 kill per drop.
Yeah.
But it's still...
But pulling all 16 workers off the mineral line, waiting for the mine to blow up, and then getting back on the back on the mineral patch, it's huge.
It's a lot of damage.
Yeah, it was. I mean, Vonnie is a really tough map too for Protoss to play against Terran. It's really a pretty good map for Terran players.